Ahoy from BA. This is a Rorschach Ocean Update from the 13th of August 2024, a summary of what's going down in the 70% surface of the Earth covered in salt water. The Pacific Islands Forum leaders met in Suva, Fiji on Friday the 9th to discuss regional concerns, focusing on monitoring Fukushima's wastewater disposal. Mark Brown, Cook Islands Prime Minister, highlighted ongoing efforts to enhance the Pacific's capacity for nuclear contamination surveillance with support from international bodies like the International Atomic Energy Agency. Brown guaranteed that the treated Fukushima wastewater release adheres to international standards and does not violate the Rarotonga Treaty. Meanwhile, Professor David Krafcik emphasized the need for vigilance, acknowledging the Pacific Islands' historical concerns about nuclear testing, while also supporting Japan's handling of the situation and its offer of technical assistance to the region. Still in Fiji, just before the forum started, Australia and New Zealand announced they would commit $42 million to help Pacific Island countries prepare for increasing climate-related disasters. These funds will establish warehouses in 14 nations across the region to store humanitarian aid, enabling quicker response times during emergencies. With worsening cyclones in the Pacific Ocean region, this initiative aims to ensure critical supplies are available within the first 48 hours of a disaster. Penny Wong, the Australian Foreign Minister, emphasized the importance of having readily accessible support for communities when disasters occur. From the Pacific to the Atlantic, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration forecasters predict an extremely active 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, driven by near-record sea surface temperatures and the potential development of La Niña, the periodic cooling of ocean surface temperatures. The season has already seen significant impacts, such as Hurricane Beryl, the earliest recorded Category 5 storm in the Atlantic, and it could be among the busiest on record, with predictions of up to 24 named storms, 13 of which may become hurricanes. Contributing factors include warmer Atlantic waters, reduced wind shear, and a stronger West African monsoon. Still in the Atlantic, a North Atlantic right whale recently caused excitement among scientists after it appeared in Donegal Bay, Ireland, far from its usual summer habitat in the Gulf of Maine and the Gulf of St. Lawrence. This rare sighting is the first confirmed in Irish waters in over a century, and it has prompted collaboration between Irish and American researchers to identify the whale. This event may indicate changes in migration patterns due to shifting food sources and climate change. Meanwhile, another group of right whales unexpectedly approached New York and New Jersey, areas that lack strong protective measures, raising concerns about their safety. Let's have a look at the Arctic Ocean. For 2 consecutive years, researchers at the Norwegian Polar Institute have successfully gathered data from the Amundsen Basin throughout all seasons, marking a significant achievement in Arctic research. Led by Paul Dodd, the team collected measurements of the water column, ecosystem, and ice, along with sound recordings of ice and marine life. These data sets are crucial for understanding the Arctic Ocean's current state and its potential changes due to warming. The data will be analyzed and made available by 2026 to aid in the management and preservation of the Arctic region. Want to know more? Check out the Arctic Update with the link in the show notes. From one pole to the other, on Thursday the 8th, the English newspaper The Guardian published an article on the rise of Antarctic tourism and the resulting concerns over environmental damage. Scientists and artists who work in Antarctica are urging people to appreciate the continent from afar rather than visiting it. They emphasize that each visit contributes to the continent's deterioration despite the desire to protect it. The article promoted initiatives like Hobartica in Australia, which offer immersive experiences that allow people to connect with Antarctica without physically going there. These initiatives of art and storytelling aim to raise awareness and encourage conservation without the need to travel to the fragile region. If you'd like to read the article or find out more about Antarctica, go check the link in the show notes. Let's sail to the Indian Ocean. According to the recent analysis of Commodore Ranjit B. Ray, the Indian Navy of the Information Fusion Center Indian Ocean Region, or IFC-IOR, near Delhi, is working to enhance maritime security across the region. This center focuses on maritime domain awareness by sharing information and coordinating activities. The IFC-IOR, established alongside the Indian Navy's expansion, helps combat threats like piracy, smuggling, and terrorism. The center also uses artificial intelligence to analyze maritime data and improve regional security. Through collaboration with global partners, the IFC-IOR strengthens maritime safety, supports rescue missions, and fosters international cooperation to address emerging maritime challenges. Still in the region, India has recently named 3 underwater structures in the Indian Ocean after prominent historical figures: the Ashoka Seamount, the Chandragupta Ridge, and the Kalpataru Ridge. The names are now recognized by the International Hydrographic Organization and UNESCO's Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission. Indian oceanographers from the National Center for Polar and Ocean Research discovered these structures during international surveys. The Russian vessel academic Nikolai Strahov uncovered the Ashoka Seamount and Kalpataru Ridge in 2012. The Indian research vessel MGS Sagar found the Chandragupta Ridge in 2020. These discoveries contribute to India's Southern Ocean Research Program. Moving on Thursday the 8th, the oil tanker Delta Blue came under attack by 2 small boats south of Yemen's Mocha port. The attackers fired a rocket-propelled grenade and a missile near the ship, but the vessel and crew were unharmed. The UK Maritime Trade Operations reported that this attack, using manned boats instead of drones or unscrewed vessels, is unusual. Yemen's Houthi rebels have targeted shipping in the Red Sea, causing global trade disruptions and leading to US and UK defensive actions. In other news, 2 US gas companies, GFI LNG and Pilot LNG, have announced plans for a new small-scale liquefied natural gas, or LNG, terminal in Salina Cruz, Mexico. This terminal will serve vessels transiting the Pacific side of the Panama Canal. The partners aim to begin construction in 2027, with front-end engineering starting soon. The facility will feature modular liquefaction units and will be able to produce about 600,000 gallons of LNG daily. It will use Mexican gas and deliver LNG to ports in Los Angeles, Long Beach, and throughout Central America. On another note, on the final day of its 29th session, the International Seabed Authority, or ISA, elected Letícia Carvalho from Brazil as its new Secretary General, succeeding Michael Lodge. Growing support for a preliminary halt to deep-sea mining marked the election, with 32 states calling for the pause. Despite that, the ISA session ended without agreeing on regulations for deep-sea mining, raising concerns about potential exploitation licenses being issued soon. The metals company may be the first to apply for such a license, with mining interest focused on the Clarion-Clipperton Fracture Zone in the Pacific Ocean. Let's talk about plastic pollution in our oceans, which could cause economic damage of up to $730 billion by 2050 if production continues unchecked. The ocean plays a critical role in regulating climate and supporting life, but it faces threats from climate change and plastic waste. Scientists estimate over 170 trillion plastic pieces are already floating in the oceans, impacting fishing, tourism, and shipping industries. The gap in ocean conservation funding remains large, with only $25 billion invested annually, far below the $174 billion needed. Let's finish up with water sports. Kyle Lenny, the surfing legend, recently joined the Alinghi Red Bull racing team in Barcelona to try out their high-speed sailing boats. Lenny, famous for riding giant waves, took part in sailing the AC-75 Boat 1, reaching speeds over 100 kilometers per hour. He also tried the smaller AC-40 boat, describing the transition as moving from simple go-karts to a Formula One car. Lenny even used his wing foil next to the yacht, amazed by how much faster the boat was. The visit provided an opportunity for Lenny and the sailing team to exchange insights and blend their expertise in both surfing and sailing. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Are you a long-time listener? Would you like to get some more in-depth episodes and interviews? Do you have any topics in mind? Something specific about the ocean update that you want to know more about for us to do a special show on? We want to do some new things very soon. Please email us at info@rorschach.com with your suggestions. See you next week!